Hello, this is Doc Father, and this is the Wild West of Discord. Now, check it out. So, anyway, I wanted to pull up what I'm seeing for the future coming up here. Uh, this this makes sense to me. Um, Now, this thing might be a little bit more heavy down this way, but it doesn't really matter which way it goes. It'll come back down and kind of messing in here. So it does it every time, but we'll start to see this walk up. The next walk up, um, well, I can show you some examples of it, but the next one is the one that's going to take off above 1611, and we'll make a sign of thing. Now, I'm picturing this happening close to the end of this month, so be prepared. This Wyckoff, this is why I see it as long as we don't have a spring. I don't see any reason for a spring. I'm with Booksy on this one. This one is how I copied the pattern, and the strange thing is I copied it from way back. Um, as you can see, you can go to the last run up here. Looks a lot like this, but this one had a spring, and then it did this walk up, and then it shoots up, and then it made this top here where it comes back down and tests, does another top, and comes up. And this one here, it actually came back and tested this and then just took straight up, but it looks like it just took off all at once. Um, Now, that's the way it looks when you're looking at it like this. Now, keep this image in mind uh, when you go back to, it's just the way they look every time, right? Um, this one here, it did the same thing, came back, touched here, down here, it did a little bit more trading sideways before it came back up and touched the top of it. This is because it was kind of a crazy zone. They had the buy button taken away somewhere back here, so it caused a kind of a chain reaction to where they reaccumulated most of it here, and you would have marked it. White coffee would have marked it up like this. Give you the same type of. Would have used this as one of the tops because it was it's kind of weird because it would have been this would have been your automatic reaction, maybe here, maybe no, it's probably here. So it's kind of a weird it's a really weird thing. So you had your automatic reaction way down here, and then you had this up here, and for the tops. So it was a pretty wide dispersed thing because you had this crazy thing that happened here, and then of course you had your sun climax, and here it did not come back all the way. So it broke through several times through the testing level. This one being the most obvious, and then this was the springs test in phase B basically. Um, so you would have been covering it like this. It would have been really hard to judge this one. But if you look at this, this is where I took the walk up, then takes off. It breaks the top as a show of strength. Then it comes back down into the range, but it doesn't come down to the previous mark. Then it comes back up, comes back down. This one it's just kind of a weird one. It's kind of a range somewhere, as if it took off from here for some reason. And I don't know why. It may be because of this funky thing, or it's just maybe it's because it had to set it up some way. But yeah, this is your typical thing. Just kind of let's see the walk up, and it takes off. Does a show of strength? Does this? And then takes off. So let's see how that. Let's grab this part, and This part, we'll make it red, just to be different. And we're going to just bring this on over to our other history we've had with AMC. And I'm going to get rid of these while I'm at it because it was a bizarre period, and it would have been really hard to catch from a Wyckoff perspective. But the ending would have been noticeable, which is what usually people look for a sign of strength. So when you see a sign of strength, it looks pretty much like this. And as you can see, this here and this are the same thing before it took off. Came up, did its walk up, see? Then it just takes off and does a sign of strength, which it did here. Then it comes back down, and it does not break the previous line. And then it does kind of a walk up, comes back above it, goes back down, goes back up, comes back down, tests, and takes off. This one I'm sure did the similar thing. I can't zoom in on it. Don't have any previous history. Blah, blah, blah. So that's coming up by the end of this month. So that should be something to be excited about. If you listen to me, you know I'm like a no-nonsense kind of guy. I don't say we're going to the moon and all that jazz, or give prediction dates. But I'm thinking by sometime in August we're gonna be pretty good. Here coming up, got some crazy good opportunities coming up. The blue is all what hasn't happened yet, but we're moving into phase C now, and then we'll be moving out the walk up. Actually, this will probably be a little bit closer to this way. That's fine. And A phase and C phase are usually around the same size, but this is just for drill purposes only, and the phase E is the run up anyway, so it should be more over like this. So so you see that we'd have the sign of strength without coming back down. So we don't want to see 1420 again after we break 1611. But we want to see it come back down into this and kind of do its jargon and let other hedge funds know that we're about to take off. The volume will spike up, and all the smart money will start to get in. You'll see over here, smart money sees this as an opportunity, especially when it starts to do this. You can see it all coming in. Smart money right here. They wait till the last movement so they know, and then brings. So then what? This is the question that I have now. Based off of liquidity things, Booksy and I's conversations over the last year, like forever, we've been talking about stuff. Just based off of everything, I think we're going to come up, and instead of collapsing this time, we will start a phase A into a new trading range up here. Now I think Booksy's a little higher than mine. I'm playing a little safe. I like this area because it hasn't had much trading in it. You have a little over here, but it's pretty safe to see. And by the time this is done, as you can kind of see, it will basically look like when this comes up to make a takeoff like this one down here, it'll pretty much look like a large cup and handle, and we'll take off. At that point, I think you would be using point and figure from this previous point and whatever it builds here, and you're probably looking at a run up to the 70s with it coming back down. It's going to be massive at this point, so let's just know that this is probably going to be a good thing. It's not going to, I think they made this thing come all the way back down to here to make a lot of retail fear once we start to come back down here, because we are going to come back down, right? We are going to come back down into a range. It always, when you have an accumulation range, it always comes down. It goes up above the range and then comes down and lands in it. Now, I can't tell you where the peak is. Based off some point and figure, I found it anywhere between like 24 to 38, I think, is what I'm looking at right now. That's like quite a bit of difference, but the point and figure I'm pretty terrible at. So And it looks like this is like a natural place to me. Now, maybe I need to talk to Booksy more about that. I know he's got some landing zones, but anyway, I wanted you to look at this and kind of get a familiarization of like what what we're going to what a white coffee is going to be looking at here going forward, and the only other possibility, as long as this is accumulation, which I believe it is, it's fit all the requirements. Um, Especially all this trading here in the middle, making it seem like it's not doing anything or going anywhere from now on. What I see is it not coming down to a spring. Now it can. That's one thing that I mentioned. It can come down to a spring, and then the difference between this way it takes off and the other way would be this was like a spring. It would basically look like this from here on out. Let me go ahead and grab that. Since I didn't use this for the other view, I'll go ahead and show you what this would look like instead of what we have. And it'd probably be about this proportion too. So it would look more like this than what we have. But as you see, the blue is very similar. I pulled the blue from uh, the June run from 2000, what, 21, 2021 June run. And yeah, you can see how they're very similar. We're coming down here. We're probably going to have the same move here. Uh, both times they had it. The only difference is this one didn't go all the way down and then started to come up, and this one came down to a spring and then came up into the walk up. So mostly be looking out for this walk up. Now, when I call walk up, I'll post it all over our Discord. We should be ready to go. Um, this is soon, people. This is coming very soon. You should be excited. Um, when we came up and made this, I said you should be happy but not excited. I know it's a debate on whether or not anybody listens to me or not. That's okay. If you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. My feelings are not hurt. These are the only two things I can see happening, and they're going to happen quick. And you know, what a Wyckofian does is waits until the sign of strength and proof that it doesn't break through this, and that's when they get in. When it doesn't break through the previous uh, resistance level, or they may get in down here after it breaks supposed to support, and you can get things the cheapest. Uh, then timing's kind of an issue. This, you know, it's about to take off, and you can bet it for that week, right? So you're on that week, and you can make your call right then because you know it's going to take off. Now, I don't know how it did it the previous time in the June run, but the one that happened just recently in the last 3 months or whatever, that run, it started sign of strength on a Friday and worked all this out, and then on Monday finished it off and took off. So I had the whole day to take off. Probably be doing something similar to that, where it does most of this on one day, and then the next day it plans to finish it and take off and run the whole day. And while it's running the whole day, it's kind of by the time the day's done, it should get to the wherever it's going, and that's you might well the next day, I guess it just had a volatility haul really fast because they dumped on it really fast. So be aware of that this time too. So you may want to get out of things if you're getting out beforehand. If you just want this for information on how soon you're getting there soon. But yeah, I don't expect it to go too much higher. I know my theory is not the only one out there, but and mine's more on the lines of this blue without a spring. So kind of be envious to this. Now the next move is down tomorrow, but then we will probably come up a little bit to finish off the week and kind of coast down. Maybe the end of this week, beginning next week, level out, and then we'll start walking up. So this stuff is all coming in our future. I just wanted to touch base with everybody. It's not financial advice. I don't see how you can get any financial advice out of this. and it's for entertainment and educational purposes only. Discord. It's already in the disclosure in the Discord. I don't even need to tell you. But anyway, love you all. Hope you had a wonderful 4th of July, and I will catch you on the flip side. Say bye bye, baby. Say bye bye.